you're on the camera, my friend, don't you?
You're on the camera.
I'm putting it on you right now.
Yeah, but think how damaging it is to the county. Think of the branding. It's just not right.
I hear you. I know you are.
We are here, it's that clock, right?
Yes, let's go.
Are we ready? All right, I hereby call the Economic Development Authority February meeting to order. Madam Secretary, do we have a forum?
Yes, we do. I'll call the roll. Ms. Dearden,
Present.
Mr. Sloan.
Here.
Mr. Pittock.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
We have a quorum chair.
All right. Now we open the citizen comment period. There being we have no citizens present. I'll go ahead and close that section and move on to the approval of the minutes from the January 16th meeting. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes?
Madam Chair, I move for approval of the minutes from the January 16th meeting.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the minutes carried. On to scheduled matters. DP, do you have a treasurer's report?
Yes, we do, Madam Chairman. It's the financial statement sent out by Lisa earlier today. It's an amendment statement, actually. We've only had one transaction that I can see since the last meeting, which is $2,500 that we approved and spent, to be expensed to the Chamber of Commerce. That's showing up as of January 24th. The only other thing you want to discuss, okay. We followed up on something we talked about at the last meeting, that was moving EDA money to the local government investment pool. I made a recommendation to basically allow the two
Your Bank of Essex.
Bank of Essex accounts to mature. One's in August, the other one's in September, and not redo them, but then move that money to the LGIP. And I haven't heard of any reason why not to move the CNF bank account as soon as possible to the LGIP. I don't think there's a major penalty
The
on that.
penalty was like $50.
Yeah. That's my recollection of nothing major. And I would recommend that we move that because we're getting a rate of 20 basis points right now. And as we discussed last time, the LGIP is over 2%. So I would should I make a motion on that, or two motions, or
Do we have to vote on that?
No, we discussed this last month, and we've already voted.
We've already voted.
Okay.
So I can go to the bank tomorrow and get that money payable to the EDA, and we can deposit that into the Wells Fargo account. I'll give it to Lisa.
To all three of those?
The other
Two
two
S's.
are not due to mature until like September.
Oh, okay,
October,
so the penalty's
September.
higher.
And there's not that big a difference between the returns on those and what we're going to get.
Oh, okay.
As there is with
The CNF,
CNF.
got it, okay.
Yeah, if I made the motion, actually was $450,000 from the Wells Fargo checking account, and then evaluation of the penalties associated in early withdrawals of the
Great.
3 CODs. So
But we're just gonna do the one now for CNF.
Good.
That's my report.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, on to new business.
So that would be,
Okay.
so we just kind of wanted to give you guys an update on what Sarah and I have been working on as kind of a collaborative. So from the new business perspective, we've set up meetings with other economic development directors in the kind of area. We've met with Louisa and Powhatan and talked to them and figured out kind of how they're functioning, what their strategic plan is, just kind of benchmarking ourselves against them. And then we have meetings coming up with Hanover and Prince George. And so we'll have kind of a good analysis after we meet with everyone to kind of come back and say, hey, this is this is where we stand and this is where we're moving, and compare our strategic plan once we get there to theirs as well. The other thing we've been kind of heavily working on is on the screen we have available sites and buildings. So when Sarah and I kind of started full force in January, when you pulled up Goochland County available sites and buildings in the state database, which is the VA scan, and this is what the State Economic Development Association uses when they have a project come into their office. They go straight to their site and pull, the criteria to see what's available. So Sarah and I have kind of worked diligently over the last month to really kind of comb some local commercial broker sites and cross-check, any for rent, for sale, for lease signs that we may see and get them added into the state database. So this is kind of what now you see on our website, so you can kind of see there's a chunk of properties. We're up to about 30 of them right now. So we went from 3 to 30 in about a month. And we've already seen that kind of pay off in terms of we've had a request from the state for a project looking at Goochland County. So it's nice to see that we've kind of upped that and we're already seeing that return on our time spent doing this.
State, you're talking about economic development.
The BEDP, yeah.
So if you click, does it give you more information on those?
It sure does. And so there's a picture, there's contact information, the sites, available lands.
Good for you, this is really good.
Yeah, so it some of this is pre-populated by the state's website, so we did not create that map. But it's nice to have kind of a chunk of listings in there so that people who are, whether they're state economic developers or they're someone considering the state of Virginia, their ability to pull this up and then look at Goochland County.
Nice.
So it's available to the public?
Yep, sure is.
Very good.
What are the other icons, the numerical icons?
So that means that there's like 6 parcels or buildings in that location.
Oh,
So,
That's a lot.
and,
Wow.
yeah, I was gonna say some of them are the industrial sites that have multiple either parcels or buildings available. So that's one of the kind of bigger things that we've been working on, and we're really excited to see that it's been taken notice and we're already getting requests.
So to jump in there, we haven't had, I think maybe last year that came back from the state. And when I sat down and met with the state, I said, how come you're not sending projects to us? And they said, well, there's nothing in Virginia's hand. So we don't know what you have. We don't know what we don't know. There's a lot of turnover at the state. And so when someone leaves, they take that institutional knowledge, whatever they know about Goochland, with them, and so the new person has to come in. So they said, you need to populate this. This is important. So when Casey started in January, we were like, let's get on it. So, and today we got a lead in, and so it was specifically from this function. So we're happy about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's very good.
I think that's it for the business. Do you want to talk about this?
Do you know who's the site? Do you know who the site person is dealing with the state?
So the state is broken up by target industries, and they have existing business managers, and by target industry. So the one today was, I don't know, I think it was a manufacturing target industry. So I can't remember her last name.
I can't mark.
Yes.
That sounds weird.
So, when they get a lead in, it gets filtered down through those target industries, and then those business managers look and start finding sites. And if they find a site that matches in the locality, then that's when they contact us.
And part of that too is we do have a membership with CoStar as well, and so we met with them earlier this week to kind of go through their database and talk to them to get a better understanding of how often they update theirs and things like that. And so right now, I'm in the process of taking the listings they have for Goochland County running it against ours and then verifying against whoever they have as a broker listed to see whether or not the broker has it listed, to see if it's a dead site and we need to let them know to pull it down, or if it's something that we have missed and it needs to go on the state website as well. As well as I was supposed to drive around today and go verify some of those, but with the weather, that didn't happen.
Not a good day.
No. The other thing Sarah and I have been doing is we've been really getting kind of out in the community and going to a lot of the chamber events. We went to the GLE event last week where we had a lovely speaker from the EDA. So it was nice to get out there and talk through, meet some of our existing businesses, talk to some of the citizens, and I did have someone call me who's got a potential project or new business coming to the area from that. So it's nice to see that people are seeing us out there and then they're reaching out afterwards to talk to us about it. So, but I think that's pretty much it for new business.
So, on the existing business front, I will be in training next week. I'm gonna attend a business retention and expansion class and a workforce development class through the IEDC. So I'm excited about that, see what kind of information I can bring back from that training. We met, both Casey and I met with the Commissioner of Revenue to try to get an understanding of how taxes are assessed and how they depreciate. Some of the like machinery and tools are taxed at a certain rate, and then after a certain number of years it gets depreciated, and the business license process. And so what that looks like if a business was coming into Goochland County, what they have to do to get a business license. I got a list from her of existing businesses with licenses, but what I did not realize is that businesses like manufacturing or headquarters don't require a business license in Goochland County. So she gave me this big long list with 1,500 businesses on it, and that includes like a lot of home occupations and stuff. So I'm literally going through one by one and going home occupation, not home occupation, not. But then I'm backchecking it against the chamber list because I want to make sure that I'm getting some of those companies. Like when I got her list, Luckstone wasn't on there, and I was like, they're manufacturing.
Pretty major.
Yeah, so I was like, well, what am I missing? So I'm trying to figure that out, and so I can get a good list of really who we have in this county, so I can start going out and knocking on doors. So
One thing that's always been a little bit of a bone of contention, I don't know, maybe Ben remembers this, but remember we always used to ask Matt, hey, when is that list available? People that have business licenses or get new licenses, is that available like it is in some counties where they post those in the newspaper?
It's available.
To other businesses. We were never able to get our hands on that.
It's available. Actually, I've been giving the chamber at their director meetings new businesses that come in, so the chamber can reach out to them. So it is available. What they can't release is the amount of revenue or how much business license is charged.
Okay.
So, but the listing is yes. So I can provide that to you. Maybe after I get it cleaned up a bit. So it's just
I'm not necessarily to me personally
no,
or
to
as
the
an
EDA.
EDA, but just to the public at large.
So next step is to get a questionnaire done. I'll probably try to bring that back before you guys to see your input, and then start knocking on doors and making business visits and things like that. So that's in the process. I also created an incentive tracker for Hardywood and Licking Hole. I had a hard time getting my mind wrapped around exactly what the incentives were from the state and what we offered them, and when things expire and when they are due. And so I have a tracker now when they're supposed to be reporting back to us and when we're supposed to be giving them their tax rebates. So I'm working with finance on that. So that's been good to try to figure all that out. We met with Columbia Gas yesterday to try to figure out where exactly Columbia Gas is located in the county, who can connect, who can't connect. Virginia Scan requires us to put in utility information when we're putting in business sites. So they want to know, like, how far is it to water and sewer? How far is it to natural gas? So having that utility information is helpful. So we are also going to meet with Dominion Power next month, their economic development people down there, try to get a good understanding of where phase 3 power is in the county, because right now, we hear it's here, we hear it's there, we don't know. We're trying to get a handle around that.
And part of that is a security concern from their perspective.
Yeah.
Of just sending out maps left and right saying, hey, this is where phase 3 is, this is this. It's a security concern, so it's more, they're used to doing it on a per building, per parcel, as opposed to, hey, we have someone who's looking for phase 3 power, which we'll talk about, where it's this. They would much rather give it to you and say, yes, this site has it, no, this doesn't have it, or this general vicinity.
So, that's a little bit difficult to work through, but, also we met with, I wrote her name, Courtney Cash Mustin. She is with the Small Business and Supplier Diversity Program through the state. She actually has a lot of, I just brought these 2 little flyers that she gave us, a lot of offerings for small businesses. So when I start going out knocking on doors and talking to businesses in the county, I can say, hey, well, did you know that you can register on EVA, which is a state procurement thing, and you can choose, what kind of vendor you are, and you can get solicitations from the state. So it's just good information to have to give out to our businesses that they might not know. So we're trying to build that relationship and work on that. And then lastly, Casey touched on a bit, we're getting a lot of cold calls into our office, not a lot, but we're getting more than we used to, cold calls into our office. Like, I had like 5 last month, which, when I have been answering the main economic development line ever since Nat left. And it was pretty sparse. It's really picked up recently, and I think it's due to us trying to get out and say, hey, we're here. So, just for example, we had 2 businesses called, one a like stone fabrication business, and then one for an RV storage. So, just showing that we're getting out and getting to the community, and people are starting to respond positively. So we're happy about that. And then another fun example is just a connection we made through the chamber. Healthy Living Vending was a chamber member,
Yes.
and then she reached out, to us and said, hey, can you get me in contact with the county to put in a vending machine in the county building? I said, sure. So we made that connection, and then got the vending machine in the county building.
Good.
So
Can we place them in the schools?
she's working on that one. I also gave her that connection too. So, just networking and helping make connections. So, it's good. What we got going on. So that's all I have for existing business.
I wanted to go back to new business. I was wondering what y'all thought about getting something for the EDA as swag that we could give out. Some kind of merchandise we could pass out to promote the EDA. A lot of EDAs do it. I've seen some that give out the little thumb drives or documents. I've seen all kinds of different little things we could do. It probably wouldn't cost us very much, but something to hand out when we're out there talking to people.
And it's something we've considered as well, for our office in general, and we can obviously definitely have it maybe branded EDA or add something to that effect on it. For when we're going out to, as we start kind of going out to trade shows and events and conferences and stuff like that, something to have, to kind of solidify that meeting of, hey, don't forget me.
Any thoughts?
Yeah.
We can be happy to research it and come back with some ideas.
Cigars and nuts.
The county just did quite a bit of that.
Did they?
And we did umbrellas, we did cups, we did pens. There's one other thing. Mr. Badesky kind of reviewed what the purchasing department had for thought on that, and he gave his insight into it. And so on our part, we have like cups, and they're pretty handy, they're nice stainless steel. Not stainless steel per se, but they look at, they're nice, very nice, and they have a lid and, you know, pins, nice umbrellas, business card holders, stuff like that.
I have a couple of customers that I work with, previous customers that I work with, still stay in touch with, that do that. And I would argue there's so much good stuff out there at a relatively low price to be unique in what you do. Because, you know, go to a golf tournament, you go to a meeting, you leave behind a golf, a pen, I mean, a cup, a pen, golf tees, whatever. Everybody's got those. But I remember one year somebody talked out in my company and given roadside emergency kits. And I bet you I had 4 or 5 calls years later from some lady who said, I had a flat tire on the side of the road, and lo and behold, in my trunk, I found your emergency road kit.
Wow.
I mean, and they were cheap. They were, you know, $10. Those things make a difference.
So, you know, we're talking, we just had a conversation about all the deals in Goochland in terms of attractions, you know, the libraries and the festivals and stuff like that. It'd be cool to perhaps do a tie-in to those types of things, you know, outdoor events, just as an idea, just, you know, the blankets that I've seen given out as promos and for.
With the sunshades that go in the car.
Yeah, something like that, so that ties in with an event, you know, just about.
There are definitely some things that people use more than maybe just putting with the rest of the stuff they get, you know.
The best one I've seen is I went to a conference and the CPA firm who dealt with kind of audits was giving out about a foot long of duct tape, and it was folded up and had a backing to it. And so they were like, here, when you need fixing, think of us. And it was like, that's really creative. And I carried that in my purse until I used it.
Well, why don't we think about it and think of some things?
I can use it if you want to have,
Well, maybe you can come up with some ideas for that.
I would be glad to go and say what's the hottest stuff out there. I was just at a convention, a cattle convention, and they were giving out, somebody's giving out keychains with a cow on it, and you squeezed it, and a calf came out the back. It was the most, and I'm telling you, they couldn't keep them. They were giving them out by thousands. It was ridiculous. I've never seen something, but that's what's out there. It was crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You remember whether you want to or not.
Right.
Do we want to come up with a budget figure for this? Like, not to exceed.
I don't know how you get to that. I mean,
Well, you might wanna just come up with some ideas, and then when you bring back the ideas, then kind of bring a cost.
It's just cost for agency.
And then
probably
kind of
tie
figure out
into
your
how many
budget.
times you're meeting, who would you leave it behind, or who gets to leave behind, who doesn't, or what situation.
Okay, well, just wanted to bring it up and have us start thinking down that road.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other new business or existing business we need to talk about? All right, you want to give us a strategic plan update?
Sure, so, it's been put a little bit on hold, the budget has kind of, taken the attention of Mr. Badesky, he's working really diligently on that, so, Sarah and I have made kind of this massive strategic plan that we are, hoping to sit down with him and Todd and discuss in the next, hopefully, 2 weeks or so. And once we kind of go and meet with them and get their thoughts, and then Sarah and I can kind of go back and revamp, then we'll be bringing it to you all to review. We have already started working on some of kind of the more administrative tasks on that. One of those being we mentioned that we're getting more cold calls and more projects, so part of that is how do we track them? So we've created a project tracking database, if you will, through Excel that we can track and then report on, so at the end of the year, we can say, hey, in 2019, we received X number of projects. We won this many, we lost this many, and here are the reasons we lost them. So that if, we can identify if there is a key issue that is holding the county back from some of these projects, whether it's large chunks of space, industrial space, office space, that type of thing. Broadband, those types of things, so that we can really identify that, drill down, and then work to fix it in the next year.
So when is the budget going to be finished?
Public hearing April 4th, adoption
Public
April.
hearing is April 2nd, adoption is April 16th.
So we probably won't see a whole lot more movement on the strategic plan until we get through that process.
I hope not. Like,
He's presented his budget, and then there's a meeting on the 26th, March 5th, March 12th. Then we have town halls, so there's a lot of time for citizens to give feedback, input to their board members or staff, whatever.
Okay. I had emailed, the board to find out what the thoughts were to send an EDA representative, i.e. me, to a, agritourism conference that is on Wednesday, April 3rd and the 4th. They do encourage, economic development and EDAs and, local government leaders to go. I've never been able to go to it, but it looks fantastic, so I'm gonna go regardless if you guys don't pay me then, but, it's very affordable. It was, 2 days, the conference fees were only $135 and the room was $111, and it'd be a little bit of travel in there, so top of $300.
It's well worth it.
And I will be attending as well. So we talked to our Parks and Rec department who's kind of working on that, tourism side. And the person who would be ideally suited to attend that would be on maternity leave. So it kind of kicks back to our department,
Okay.
so I'll be attending that.
Is that Jessica?
Yes.
So do we need a motion to approve?
Yes, for a limit of funds,
Yeah.
whatever they want to set it, if you're 400, whatever.
Madam
Not-
Chair, on
Go ahead, Ben.
I move that we allocate up to $450 for the expenses incurred by attending the agritourism conference on April 3rd and April 4th at Hotel Roanoke. And you can designate who that individual should be.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Enjoy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. I'm on. Any bills to be paying?
No.
Any other business?
Madam Chair, I do believe it was unsuccessful as always, GLE.
Oh, yes, the GLE. Good.
But I think it was all brought about by the fact that we had attendees from the economic director's office and of course, Chamber of Commerce and Ken Peterson also. So
Do you have a pretty good class this year?
it's a good, very good class.
I would go so far as to say, I'm in the class and I was there. And I learned more at that session about past history of Houston, specifically the West Creek story, than in all of the other classes and anything I've attended. A lot of them, gee, you did a great job. Not looking to,
I'm humbled.
blow smoke, but I will tell you, you and,
He likes this month.
Shirley, you and the supervisor did a
yours.
good job. I think it was a good dovetail. A lot of people learned a lot of stuff.
Good. That's
And
good
there
to
were
hear.
people there for the prospective people for the next class, and I think it's good they went to that. If they
Yeah.
wanted to know, they may not have stuck around, but I think
Where was it held?
it was at the Farm Bureau offices.
Oh,
Did a good job. It was very well received. It was very well received. It was something that went over that.
Thank you for doing that again. How many years in a row is that now?
You should keep doing it.
Yeah,
It's good.
even after you leave the EDA, please keep doing it.
I'll go through the class again.
Any other business?
I have a question. Last meeting, we've been advised that, our lawyer was leaving that group, and I think we decided to stick with,
Leclerc.
was there any kind of communication to them about that, or do we need to do anything?
No, I just need to contact them and find out who they've assigned to
Okay.
to the authority. Basically, it's that simple.
got it.
It's like when Doug Spertoli was here and he left, they assigned Cato Hill
Yeah.
to the authority, and so we just need to find out from them who they're assigning the authority to, and I can find that out.
Okay.
So I think it might be a gentleman named Stephen Blaine
BLANE.
out of the Charlottesville office, yes.
I'll get some contact info.
If there's no other business, then I will go ahead and close the meeting. Our next regular scheduled meeting is on March 20th at 5:30.
We do have closed meeting.
We do have a closed
We're
meeting,
just gonna-
so, the open meeting part is closed, and I think Lisa's gonna go ahead and turn off the
Mhm.
recorder and